All right, let's build something really useful today, a mental toolkit that turns you into a kind of language detective. We're going to tackle one of the biggest hurdles in learning. When you come across a word or an idea you just don't get and you're not sure what to do next.
We've all been there, right? You're cruising along, reading an article, a book, maybe just listening to someone talk, and bam, you hit a wall. It's just one word, but it throws off your rhythm, and suddenly the whole meaning feels fuzzy. It's so frustrating. So, what do most of us do? Yeah, we just blow right past it. We skip it and hope it wasn't that important. But every time we do that, we leave a little gap in the puzzle, right? A piece of the meaning gets lost. But what if there was a better way? What if you could crack the code without even reaching for a dictionary? And let's be real, running into a word you don't know isn't some kind of personal failure. I mean, think about it. The sheer number of words out there is just massive. Nobody knows every single one. So the goal here isn't to memorize everything, it's to have a strategy. And that's our solution. We're going to build a language detective's toolkit. This isn't about cramming more words into your brain. No, it's about developing a skill, the skill of decoding things on the fly, right in the moment you find them. So, tool number 1, the absolute foundation of our kit, is using context clues. Think of these as little hints that the writer or speaker leaves for you. They're like breadcrumbs scattered around the mystery word, leading you right to its meaning. And to make spotting these clues super easy, we've got a simple but really powerful framework. It's an acronym called IDES. It just helps you organize the different kinds of hints you should be looking for. Okay, so let's break down this IDES method. I stands for inference. This is where you really play detective, piecing together clues. D is for definition. That's the easy one, where the sentence basically just hands you the meaning. Then you've got E for example, which shows you the word in action. A is for antonym, where you see a word with the opposite meaning nearby, which is a great clue. And finally, S is for synonym, where a word that means something similar points you in the right direction. Let's see this in action. Take this sentence. What does the word arid mean here? Well, the sentence gives you two massive clues: desert and barely a drop of water. So using inference, you can figure out that arid has to mean something like super, super dry. See? No dictionary needed. You just solved it. Now, what's really cool is that these detective skills aren't just for when you're reading. They are just as important, maybe even more important, when it comes to listening strategically and really understanding what people are saying. I mean, just think about how we communicate every day. This data is pretty eye-opening. We spend almost half of our communication time, that's 40 to 50%, just listening. That's way more time than we spend talking, reading, or writing. It's a skill we are constantly using. And this becomes even more critical when you're trying to learn something new. For students picking up a new language, for instance, more than half of their time is spent just listening. It really shows you that listening isn't passive at all. It's a core skill we have to actively work on. So, if listening is that important, how do we get better at it? Well, guess what? Just like with reading, there are proven strategies to become a more effective listener. It's not magic, it's a process. And researchers have actually laid out a framework for it. This model might look a little academic, but the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. It all boils down to 3 different modes of listening. First, you've got attentive listening, which is about noticing the details. Second is responsive. That's about getting the general vibe, the main message. And third is active, and that's when you really jump in to make sure you're understanding. So the real skill here is knowing which mode to use and when. Attentive and responsive listening, that's more about observation. You're trying to guess the main idea, you're watching their body language. But active listening, that's when you take control. You ask them to repeat something, you ask for clarification. You're not afraid to say, hey, can you slow down? You are actively building your own understanding. So we've got these tools for reading, these strategies for listening, but why does it all matter? What's the real payoff here? Well, mastering these strategies has a huge, measurable impact on how we learn and see the world. The research is pretty clear on this. When you actually use these techniques, you don't just understand a little more. Your whole game changes. Your comprehension goes up, your confidence when you face something new totally skyrockets, and you become a more independent and efficient learner. You're not just waiting to be told what things mean anymore. You're equipped to figure it out yourself. And that really brings us to the most important point of all. True understanding isn't about how much you already know, how big your internal dictionary is. It's about having the skills and the confidence to walk up to something you don't know, break it down, and build the meaning for yourself. It's an active process. There's this fantastic quote from the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein that just nails this idea. Every single word we can understand, every idea we can truly grasp, it expands the boundaries of our personal world. So when we learn how to decode language, we are literally learning how to unlock new parts of reality.
So the next time you hit a word or an idea you don't get, don't just skip it. Think of it as a locked door. And now, you have the keys. The only real question is, what new world are you going to unlock next?